time on Distant Shores, we're exploring around the coast of Antigua. We try out our swing keel by beaching the boat for the first time. We get invited to a pirate birthday party, and we meet up with the crew aboard SV Delos. But first, I've got to replace the zinc on our Varifold propeller. This is the zinc I took off yesterday, and there's hardly anything left of it after 11 months in the water. That's what it's supposed to look like new. This is a relatively easy job, especially I think most people could do it breath holding. I've got weights to make sure that I don't float up and hit the bottom of the hull, keep me neutral or slightly underwater. Then I've got a pair of vice grips that I can use to attach it, tighten it on with, and I've sprayed down the vice grips with a bit of oil so they don't get all rusty. The zinc is needed to protect the propeller. Whenever two different metals, in this case bronze and stainless steel, are immersed in salt water, they form a rudimentary battery with one of them corroding. In this case, the bronze of the prop would slowly disappear unless there was something which corroded much more easily. With the sacrificial zinc anode in place, the prop and shaft are protected as the zinc immediately starts sacrificing itself.
Antigua is a great cruising ground and well worth exploring. We head up to Nonsuch Bay and Green Island on the east side of Antigua. We had planned to meet up with SV Delos here, and just as we arrive, Brian and Karen are heading to the beach for a pirate party. We get a personal invitation from the young pirate himself.
Oh my goodness, thank you, we would love that.
So we got invited to a pirate birthday party. How fun is that? And it's just on the beach up here.
And it's the cutest little pirate you've ever seen. Thank you very much. I'm Cheryl.
Hi, I'm Erin.
Hi, Erin. Fabulous costume.
Hello, Erin. Wow, your costume's amazing.
Thank you. So nice to meet you. Got some chocolate cake to offer you on the table.
Oh.
And lots of other
Are you
snacks.
having a
Help
great
yourself.
day?
There's so many snacks on the
What's
table.
your name? Birthday boy? Birthday pirate?
Nice pirate outfit, though.
Yeah.
Beautiful. What a good idea to have.
And then we eventually started actually sailing.
You did? When did you start sailing?
So we started and we like decided this was a good idea about a year and a half ago.
Wow,
And so that's when we
New York.
started watching everything. So you guys, these guys, like we started watching and learning. I've been racing for 20 years, but I haven't been cruising. And then we bought a boat in August. So that's our boat. We bought it in August, and we did a little bit of sailing in August, and then we left Virginia in November and came down the Caribbean, and we've been cruising the Caribbean.
Also on the beach are YouTubers from SV Delos celebrating their honeymoon.
You guys just got married. Congratulations. And honeymoon wine.
Look at us. We're winning. Happy honeymoon, dear.
So funny.
Better poke your head through
Yeah.
the pirate ship and be the captain.
You put your head through. There you are.
One of the features we love about a variable draft yacht is that they have a fully retractable keel, so you can cruise in very shallow water and actually beach them. Distant Shores 3 is the third southerly we've owned, but we haven't beached her yet, and this looks like a good spot. Brian from SV Delos gets out his drone, while Karen films from the beach to help us document it.
In areas with higher tides, we've used this in the past to scrub the bottom and even replace the propeller. In case you haven't heard of SV Delos, they have a very popular sailing YouTube channel documenting their journey around the world. Brian left the business world behind him, setting off from Seattle 10 years ago aboard Delos. The video productions began in earnest a year later, and they do a great job of bringing viewers along on their journey. Definitely check it out if you're not already a subscriber. We go aboard Delos to congratulate Brian and Karen on their wedding.
Good morning.
And to compare notes as video producers.
Go ahead.
Well, first of all, congratulations on your recent wedding.
Thanks so much, and welcome to the honeymoon.
Yes.
Right, we barged in on you.
Very kind of you. Well, I think everyone's very excited and pleased for you.
Yeah, we're stoked. It's been a long time coming, and now we just get to chill and enjoy a little bit of cruising life, taking some downtime, and just hanging out, kiteboarding, and enjoying the weather in Antigua.
I asked them how they met.
Brady was working at a Mexican restaurant to make money, and we were on the boat partying, and one of his friends called me. He's like, "Oh, dude, 3 hot Scandinavian chicks just rolled in here, and we're giving them free margaritas, trying to get them to stay, but hurry up, come get down here quick." And that was sort of how Brady met the group of friends, and then they got invited back to our boat we were sitting at for the summer, and it was a very stormy night, and there was kind of this knocking at the gate, and I was kind of like settled in watching some shows with people and just drinking beers, like, oh, who the hell is out there, what do they want, it's like kind of go out, put my rain jacket on and open the gate, and there's Karen and her friends like, "Hello, have you seen our friend?" I'm like, what do you mean? "I think our friend disappeared somewhere with Brady." Like, "Oh, okay." So I was like, "You guys can come in and wait." And then we got on quite well, and I asked her to come sailing for the weekend. And that was what, like 8 years ago?
Yeah, and I kind of delayed my flight back home to uni and just stayed, and we sailed around New Zealand for a while, and then
Was that your first sailing experience?
Yeah, that was my first sailing experience. I'd never been on a boat before. I didn't really know about the lifestyle either, so it was super special, and it was really cool. It was kind of like a aha, like you can actually do this. Like, this is awesome way to travel. Yeah. So it was really cool.
It was good.
What appealed to you about it? Besides the Henderson captain.
Yeah, besides Brian. I think it was just the fact that you live sustainably. Kind of, you don't have a lot of things. I've never had a lot of things, so it was perfect. I was like, this is awesome. And just the way that you can bring your comforts with you. Because I love to be cozy. It's I love being cozy.
Yeah.
So you should bring your house and all your things with you and not live out of a backpack and still travel. I think was the most wow thing that I found.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right now, probably the biggest challenge for us is maintaining a good balance in life, because it's almost like it is running your own business. And if you run your own business, everything that you do benefits you directly. And so you're like, where's that fine line of where you say, well, I want to do more editing, I want to do more filming, I want to do more in general because it's fun and it helps you, but then at the same time, the whole reason you're out here is to enjoy sailing and the cruising lifestyle and just having random afternoons at the beach. And if you always bring the camera, then you're always it's affecting your life somehow. You're sort of looking at life through the lens, so to speak. And so for us, it's a matter of balancing the on time where we are actively filming with editing, and then also just having downtime to just live like normal sailors and sit out on the deck and watch the sunset instead of worrying about, let's capture this moment. So
you've been so successful at capturing the normal moments, but I guess just not every single normal moment, obviously.
Yeah,
you capture,
exactly.
You do capture lying at the sunset and just looking at the sunset.
Yeah.
So you share that with the viewers.
Yeah,
and then
try to.
The hardest ones must be rough stuff, because everybody wants to see what the rough weather's like, but of course that's the time you got to have the captain's hat on.
But I also find when exciting or rough things happen, then we're also not happy about it, but we're like, oh, this is really cool. Then everybody's filming all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's amazing. If there's a good energy, then it's so normal for us now to pick up a camera and capture the moment. I remember when we were in Madagascar, and the guy, we had somebody that came to the boat with a knife, and we always keep our dinghy on the side, and he was literally cutting the lines off the dinghy one by one, and it woke us up, and we ran outside and, hey, what are you doing? And of course, because we always have cameras right there by the companionway, somebody grabbed the camera, and then the whole thing was sort of documented, whereas if
I didn't even put clothes on. I just grabbed the camera and I was like, you're naked. I was like, holy shit. Like that was my first thing, like just film it so we can like prove that we didn't do anything wrong.
And it also, and because we got shots of his face, we were able to take it into the village and show people, and they recognized him because it's a small village, of course. And then he got caught, and then so it worked out good. But it has sort of become normal for us, I guess.
Yeah.
But we are conscious about not doing it all the time.
But we've learned a lot too. Like,
Yeah.
I remember in the beginning, we were always like, it's changed. I mean, we started filming how many years ago? Like
I guess it was when we left Australia. Was that 2013?
13? Yeah. So like for a lot of years. And I think what is developed is, it was like in the beginning we were struggling to edit because the footage was like this and nobody
It's like, just give me one 5-second stable shot. You know, like somebody would be saying something interesting and then the camera would turn off. I'd be like, they were in the middle of a sentence. Like, why did you not wait until they were done saying what they did before the camera turned off? And so we've gotten past those initial rough things, and now we have plenty of footage to edit.
So many stories where, you know, you film, like, let's say going to this waterfall, you film it so well, like the story of going there, and it's not like one single shot of the waterfall. You're like, this is useless.
Yeah, what the hell is
You can't
that?
use this for anything. And just, you know, I think now we kind of know what shots are good, and like, okay, let's do some talking, let's show some, like the whole kind of spectrum of things, you know, if you want to build a story around it. So I think that we've learned a lot.
Yeah, and particularly with
that.
sailing too, because everybody wants to see Delos sailing, or any boat sailing in like rough weather, big wind, big waves. And it's a really hard thing to film, because you're actually, when the boat is going crazy, you'd rather just sit down, and you know, you don't want to be walking around trying to film and capture it, but you also want to, because it's something really cool to show, and to try and show the ocean and the size of the waves and the movement of the boat is extremely difficult. So we've learned some strategic GoPro spots around the boat that work, and then, you know, filming people driving is kind of cool. Slow motion wave shots are often very dramatic, because you can see the wave going like, you know, and stuff like that.
But I think one other cool thing too is that everybody films, everybody edits. If we do have guests, we really encourage people to film, because everybody captures, even though you have never filmed before, just taking up the camera and like filming yourself saying something, or like it gives a different perspective. So I think for us during all of these years, that's what's been so amazing, to like have different kind of perspectives and stuff.
Yeah, and we always normally keep one camera that's set up as like a beginner camera. So it's auto exposure, it's auto focus. You basically open it up and you hit the record button, and there's some sort of a zoom. But you can give that camera to anybody, and if they push the button and then point it in the right direction, they'll get some sort of a shot.
And it's usually really good.
Yeah, it's usually pretty good. As far as crashing the drone, yeah, Karen like goes downstairs when I fly the drone, because she does it.
Like, ah!
Yeah, I've crashed, let's see, the first splash drone into the lady's house in Botswana, which was not my fault. The second splash drone into the mast of Delos, which is probably mostly my fault.
No, they were shit.
We hit a couple of palm trees with the Phantom. It survived pretty good. We lost a Mavic recently, just by like bouncing it off the back arch, trying to land it in the ocean, because the swells were super big and the boat just took a bad roll, and then it hit one of the stays, and then it's gone. I guess that's not too bad considering all the footage we've got.
You got a nice shot. I think you have a spinnaker. You're running gently under the spinnaker.
Yeah, we did that in the lee of, what was that, Dominica?
Yeah. But that's like, it's awesome when we can have the dinghy in the water.
Yeah,
then we usually do like everything from
I
the
really
dinghy.
prefer to do it from the dinghy, because there's nothing around you, and you can stop the dinghy, and the home point is, you know, not moving constantly. Like it'll always come back to you if something happens, and you can move her quite quickly, and it's easy to catch. And so most of the time, if we're not on the open ocean, we'll fly from the dinghy. If the waves are manageable, if it's big waves, then we have to fly from the boat.
We have also gotten some cool shots of Delos sailing though, with like dropping Brady in the water, and then he's like with the underwater camera, and then we just like sail past.
But that's
him.
like, I don't think most people would do that. It's so fun.
Yeah.
It's
I
so
wanted to go
fun.
to underwater and see the keel go over.
Yeah. We were doing it in Madagascar in a pretty big bay, and yeah, we would basically, Karen and I were sailing the boat, and then we had another friend and Brady in the dinghy, and he started doing it on scuba, but it turns out it's a lot easier to quickly go down just free diving and hang out for long enough for the boat to pass over, and then to get the shot of like, okay, here comes the bow, you go down, and then you just pan across the hull, and you see the keel go, and it just looks so cool. Yeah, we did it like for, a whole afternoon one day, just sailing back and forth over him. And
We went over a coral head, and I sailed the boat and raised the keel as we went over this coral patch, and then dropped it again, and Paul filmed it, and it took ages, and it's like one shot.
I think actually the most difficult thing for us to film so far was the sperm whales in Dominica.
Yeah.
Because it's like such a limited time, and there's no redos. So, you spend the better part of a day listening on the hydrophone and finding out where the whales are, and then you finally find them, and then you have to watch them and look at their behavior. And then if everything is working right, then you get dropped, kind of in the direction of the whales, at which case they may change direction. Or if you're quiet and lucky, then they will swim right towards you. And then you have at most 20 to 30 seconds to get this shot. So you better nail like your focus and your white balance and everything beforehand.
And the waves are choppy. So
and you're swimming there, and then there's a pod of whales coming at you, and you're lucky if you can remember to hit the record button. And you're like, ah!
And you just want to enjoy it too. So
and you want to enjoy it as well,
just film
but you
it.
also want to capture it because it's something like, how often do you get to swim with sperm whales? I wish I had a good answer for that. I think we've only thought through the next month, really.
Yeah. I mean, Alex and Brady comes back in March, and then we're gonna have some people out, like some patrons coming out, for like a few weeks, and then we haven't really planned more than that. I mean, we're heading in the general direction of Florida.
Yeah, and then figure out another plan. But we definitely want to go, like the long-term goal is to get back to the Pacific. So there's so many places you want to see, and with the recent sort of trip that we did up to the Arctic really got us interested in more high latitude sailing, and so we've been looking at other options for boats that could potentially, because Delos is an amazing boat, but in order to do more expeditionary high latitude stuff, I don't think she's the best boat for that. So we potentially could move in that direction, although there's all sorts of things to figure out there. Because we would want like something as good of a sailboat as Delos, but also capable of other things. And to put those two things together is incredibly difficult. So we're looking.
Good luck.
Good luck with that, and thank you so much for being generously showing us around.
Yeah,
of course.
No problem, our pleasure.
To keep up with the Delos crew's ongoing adventures, you can visit their website and also their excellent YouTube channel linked below. And if you haven't yet subscribed to Distant Shores, click the subscribe button now and receive our updates as well. Have a question about the cruising lifestyle? Please let us know in the comments below. See you next time!